They say wind power is clean, renewable, and quiet. Nobody ever told me it would summon the full wrath of the HOA the second I flipped the switch on my homemade windmill. I'm not exaggerating. The sky was calm, the blades just whispering, my workshop lights flickered on, and right as I sat down with a hot mug of coffee, I saw her, Karen Melthorpe, HOA president, barreling across my lawn like she was on a mission from Judge Judy herself. No knock, no hesitation, just a shout loud enough for the whole block. That spinning monstrosity is ruining the aesthetic harmony of our community. I thought it was a joke. I laughed, big mistake, right? That laugh was the opening shot in a war I never asked for. By the end of that week, my trash pickup got mysteriously canceled. My mailbox was lying in pieces, and there were 12 violation notices stacked on my porch, all signed by Karen with her signature flourish. Why? Because I dared to spin a little wind. When I moved into Silver Pines, I didn't expect paradise, but I figured at least I'd get a little peace. It's a sleepy cul-de-sac, neat lawns, the kind of place where the trees are taller than the houses, and everyone's shutters are painted the same 3 shades of beige. I bought at the edge of the neighborhood, where the land slips into open grass, perfect for a breeze and for a retired engineer with too much time and too many ideas. So I built a windmill, not one of those towering turbines you see on the highway, just a sleek 15-foot spinner, quiet as a whisper tucked behind my fence and fully up to county code. It powered my workshop, let me tinker with solar batteries and busted drones, and I even matched the paint to the house. For a few days it was perfect. But perfection in a neighborhood with a Karen is a temporary thing. First time I noticed her was at a block barbecue. She hovered by the potato salad wearing sunglasses at dusk, whispering to another board member and pointing at my yard like I'd hidden a nuclear silo back there. I figured she was just nosy. Turns out nosy was the tip of the iceberg. The next morning, I found a violation notice jammed in my door. The language was so over the top, I had to laugh. Unauthorized aerial structure capable of disrupting visual tranquility. It was like someone tried to write legalese using a thesaurus and a bottle of white wine. I called the number on the notice. Karen herself answered. Didn't even say hello, just barked. "Have you removed the turbine yet?" I explained calm as I could that I had a permit, it was legal, and you couldn't even see it from the street. She said permits don't matter in planned communities. The HOA supersedes petty municipal nonsense. I wanted to hang up, but I couldn't help myself. Karen, do you even know how electricity works? She hung up, and as I'd soon find out, that was the moment the target landed on my back. A couple days later, no trash pickup. Sanitation company said someone claiming to be me had canceled it. Mailbox got knocked over. Maybe coincidence, maybe not. Then a flyer showed up on my door. Energy bullies not welcome in Silver Pines. Signed Preservation Committee, which funny enough turned out to be just Karen. Still, I didn't fight back. Not yet. I fixed my mailbox, called New Trash Service, upgraded my security cameras, hoping she'd get bored. She didn't get bored, she got loud. One morning, I caught her in my yard with a tape measure and a camera clicking away at the windmill. Gathering evidence, she said. For what wind crimes, no smile. She gave me 24 hours to take it down or face daily fines. I pointed to my permit again. This is a community, not a science fair, she snapped. That was my sign to get strategic. I called Malcolm, an old friend and zoning lawyer who owed me a few favors. He dug through the paperwork and found what I hoped. Not only was my windmill legal, but HOAs couldn't override the state's clean energy law. In fact, Karen's crusade could get the HOA fined. And as a cherry on top, the county had just launched a rebate program for renewable projects, so if she dragged me to court, I'd walk out with a check and a public apology. But honestly, I didn't want just to win. I wanted her to feel it. So while Malcolm prepped the legal paperwork, I started sketching plans for a solar tower, a 38-foot mirrored beauty that would be both a power station and a shining middle finger to overzealous neighborhood bureaucracy. If she hated a small windmill, wait till she saw this. Word got out as I started digging. Some neighbors cheered me on. One brought lemonade. A pair of teenage twins from next door pitched in on weekends. Not everyone was on my side, though. Anonymous notes in the mailbox, turbine tyrant sun devil. But most people just wanted to see what would happen next. Meanwhile, Karen was in full command mode, holding HOA meetings in her living room, snapping photos of my property and posting updates about the environmental crisis brewing behind my fence. Then came her next move. Karen standing on my driveway waving a laminated HOA rulebook like it was the Constitution, shouting, "I won't let you turn this place into an industrial zone." I just pointed at the American flag flying beside my windmill. "This is America, Karen. We innovate here." Her face turned beet red. She stormed off. That night I caught her and two board members snooping around my fence with flashlights and clipboards. That's when it hit me. This wasn't about a windmill or a view. It was about control, plain and simple. And if there's one thing I learned in engineering, it's that when you try to stop innovation, eventually the system breaks. So as Karen plotted, I kept building. By now, Silver Pines wasn't a peaceful, pine-scented dream anymore. It was a powder keg. Karen's latest stunt was an emergency HOA meeting on her porch, standing on a folding chair, waving bylaws, declaring my windmill the beginning of chaos. Some of her loyalists, mostly retirees with matching garden gnomes, nodded along while others just looked tired. The next twist. Every morning a fresh violation notice on my mailbox garage, even once on my dog's collar. Infractions like improper energy apparatus orientation and excessive solar glare. None of it enforceable, and Malcolm was just as entertained as I was. State law said she couldn't ban green energy projects, period. But Karen didn't care about legal wins. She was betting I'd get tired and give up. No chance. One afternoon, as I was pouring the foundation for the solar tower with those same twins helping, a black SUV pulled up and out stepped Karen Sharp, white suit, blueprints in hand, ready for battle. "Cease and desist. This is your final warning." I handed her a laminated copy of the county's green energy ordinance. She turned to the twins. "Do your parents know you're helping with illegal construction?" "Yeah." They grinned. "She made us snacks." Karen left, sputtering. Her next trick, a mass email to the neighborhood calling me a rogue energy renegade and warning of electrical explosions, complete with a photoshopped picture of my windmill hit by lightning. Her petition got 11 signatures, 3 from the same person. That's when the tide started turning. Support came from neighbors I barely knew. One dropped off extra solar panel mounts. A retired electrician offered to help wire the backup. My little feud was morphing into a movement. Karen called in the county inspectors claiming I had radioactive materials. The inspectors were apologetic. They left impressed, and one even asked if I'd help with the setup at his cabin. Karen's protests became more desperate. She blocked my driveway with folding chairs, chanting into a megaphone. 5 people showed up, including a pizza guy and a golden retriever. I turned on the sprinklers, and the protest vanished. A college professor reached out after hearing about the drama online, offered me prototype solar panels that tracked the sun. Karen tried to film him with a camera from 2006, probably burned more batteries than film. The day I started raising the steel frame, she went door to door claiming my tower would steal photosynthesis and mess up everyone's roses. She posted rants online, made a video about government surveillance through solar panels. Nobody took her seriously. My solar display even inspired a neighbor's kid to dream of becoming an engineer. Then the tower's shadow started falling across Karen's prize-winning hydrangeas flowers she'd championed in the annual contest, which she also judged. Go figure. Her meltdown was immediate. She stormed my gate, trowel in hand, yelling about solar sabotage. I offered to help her plant something shade-tolerant. She hurled the trowel onto my lawn and threatened a lawsuit involving bees and biointerference. As the tower neared completion, Karen's campaign devolved into pure slander, posting on the community board that birds were dropping dead and pilots were blinded by solar glare. She even went on a podcast and called solar panels sky leeches. It went viral, but not in the way she wanted. Her rant got remixed into a techno track by a neighbor's kid. Next came the building inspector, courtesy of yet another anonymous complaint. He left impressed, but the unannounced visit told me Karen was getting dirty. I filed a complaint with the county. Malicious interference with a green energy system is a big no-no. Karen got a warning letter, threat of fines and legal action if she kept it up. Her next protest, one-woman show sign reading "Solar Tyranny Ends Now." The following day, she managed a protest with 4 people, 2 of whom hid under my tower's shade. That's when it became clear Karen had become the spectacle. Local news crews started showing up. She gave a dramatic interview comparing my tower to Times Square. I just explained the legal and environmental benefits. Public opinion swung hard. Letters of support poured in. Kids drew the tower as a superhero on thank you notes taped to my gate. But Karen didn't quit. She tried to hire fake inspectors, guys in hard hats, no real credentials, taking photos of my license plate. I caught it all on camera, sent it straight to Malcolm in the county. That was the last straw. She crossed from nuisance into illegal territory. The county set a hearing, an official investigation into HOA interference. At the hearing, I showed everything: permits, plans, video evidence of trespassing and sabotage, all of it methodical, calm. Karen's rants about solar tyranny fell flat. The ruling tower stays. HOA fined Karen, banned from any enforcement for the foreseeable future. She stormed out, couldn't even meet my eye. In the weeks after, the peace was like stepping into a different world. No more threats, no more paper tickets, just quiet afternoons and grateful neighbors. The HOA elected a new president, Jenna, a former Marine, all business and fairness. Under her, the bylaws got rewritten to protect clean energy projects, and suddenly solar panels started sprouting up all over Silver Pines. And me, I threw the biggest solar barbecue the neighborhood had ever seen, grilled on clean power, cold drinks from a solar-powered fridge, music run off the tower. That night, the tower's LED lights spelled out, "Welcome change," and people cheered not for me, but for something bigger, for proof that one stubborn neighbor could beat back pettiness with progress. Karen faded from view, just a name on an old newsletter, her house now the shadiest spot in Silver Pines. I still see her sometimes at the farmer's market, sunglasses on, shrinking away. I don't hate her, I almost feel sorry. Because at the end of the day, all she managed to do was shine a brighter light on what this place could be when people stopped being afraid of change. So yeah, they say wind power is quiet, but sometimes standing up for a little bit of progress makes the loudest noise of all. And in Silver Pines, that's the story people remember. What about you? Do you think the rules keep us safe or just stuck? Drop your take below. Let's see where everyone stands on progress, power, and a little rebellion in the suburbs.